You're sitting on your couch on a Sunday night, scrolling through your bank statement, and something feels off. You earned $4,200 this month. Your rent is $1,400. Your car payment is $350. Groceries, maybe $400. That should leave you with over $2,000. But your checking account says $312. You stare at the number, you scroll up, you scroll down. Where did the rest go? You don't remember buying anything big. No vacations. No shopping sprees. No emergencies. Just gone. And the worst part? This has been happening every single month for years. You're not bad with money. You're not irresponsible. You're caught in something that was specifically designed to make your money disappear without you noticing. My name is Fox, and I spend way too much time studying how companies extract money from people who think they're being responsible. If you're someone who set up autopay because you were told it was the smart thing to do, make sure to subscribe because this one is going to change how you look at every recurring charge on your bank statement. Here's what's actually happening. There's an invisible cost to convenience that I call the autopilot tax. It's not an actual tax. It's worse. It's the price you pay for putting your finances on autopilot and trusting that the companies billing you every month have your best interests in mind. Spoiler, they don't. They have shareholders. And those shareholders love you. They love that you set it and forget it. They love that you're too busy, too tired, or too trusting to open that bank statement and go through every single charge. The financial industry understands this perfectly, but has zero incentive to explain it to you. In fact, they're counting on you never doing the math I'm about to show you. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why the most financially dangerous button on the internet isn't buy now. It's Enable Autopay. Let me take you back to where this started. Before 2000, paying a bill was an active decision. You got a paper bill in the mail, you wrote a check, you licked an envelope, you walked to a mailbox. Every single month, you physically handled your money, and because you physically handled it, you saw it leave. You felt it. That friction was annoying, yes, but it was also a built-in protection mechanism. It forced you to ask a question every single month. Do I still want this? Is this still worth it? Then the internet happened, and with it came a tiny checkbox that changed everything. Set up automatic payments. It was sold to you as a life hack. Save time. Never miss a payment. Protect your credit score. And honestly, for things like your mortgage or your electric bill, autopay makes perfect sense. But here's what happened next, and this is what nobody talks about. Once companies realize that customers on autopay almost never cancel, they completely redesign their business models around it. In 2012, a researcher named John Warrillow published a study on what he called the subscription economy. He found that businesses with recurring autopay revenue were valued at up to 8 times higher than businesses selling the same product as a one-time purchase. 8 times. Let that sink in. Wall Street doesn't reward companies for making great products. Wall Street rewards companies for locking you into payments you forget about. By 2023, the subscription economy had grown to over $275 billion in the United States alone, according to Zura's Subscription Economy Index. That's not because people love subscriptions more than ever. It's because autopay made it almost effortless to keep paying. A 2024 study by C+R Research found something that should make every person watching this video pull out their phone right now. The average American spends $273 every single month on subscription services. But here's the part that made my jaw drop. When those same people were asked to estimate how much they spend on subscriptions, their average guess was $111. That's not a small gap. That's a $162 per month difference between what people think they're paying and what they're actually paying. That means the average person is spending almost $2,000 a year on charges they're not even fully aware of. and a CNET survey from 2024 confirmed it. Consumers are paying over $1,000 each year in what researchers are now calling subscription creep. Almost half of Americans, nearly 50%, admitted they had forgotten to cancel at least one free trial that turned into a paid subscription. Half the country got charged for something they never intended to keep paying for. The system relies on you being too exhausted to do this math, so let me do it for you. Let's start with the math that nobody wants you to see. I call this first calculation the invisible subscription tax. Remember that gap we talked about? The difference between what you think you spend on subscriptions and what you actually spend? That gap is $162 per month. Now watch what happens when we trace where that money goes. $162 per month times 12 months equals $1,944 per year. That's almost $2,000 a year in charges you didn't even realize you were paying. But it gets worse. If you took that $162 per month and instead put it into an index fund earning the historical average of 7% per year, here's what happens. After 10 years, that forgotten subscription money grows to over $28,000. After 20 years, it grows to over $95,000. After 30 years, that money you were accidentally spending on apps and streaming services you haven't opened in months turns into almost $200,000. Let me say that again. The subscriptions you forgot about could have been almost $200,000 in your retirement account, and that's just the charges you didn't know about. We haven't even talked about the ones you do know about but don't realize are draining you. I am not done yet. Here's the second calculation. I call it the silent price hike. One of the most powerful effects of autopay is that it makes price increases invisible. When you're paying manually, a price increase hits you in the face. You see it, you feel it, you make a conscious choice to accept it or cancel. But on autopay, they just quietly change the number and your bank account absorbs it without a fight. Let me show you what this looks like with just 5 services most people have. Netflix. 5 years ago, the standard plan was about $13 a month. Today, it's $18. That's a $5 increase. Disney Plus, it launched at $7 a month. Today, the no-ads version is $16. That's $9 more. Spotify went from $10 to $12. YouTube Premium went from $12 to $14. And Amazon Prime went from about $10 a month to $15. Add it up. Across just these 5 services, you're paying $23 more per month than when you originally signed up. That's an extra $276 every single year that just silently appeared on your bill. Number phone call. No email asking your permission. No negotiations. They raised the price, and autopay made sure you kept paying without even blinking. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but $276 a year isn't that much. I can handle that. And you're right. For 5 services, it seems manageable, but the average American has 12 subscriptions running. Not 5. 12, and every single one of them is quietly raising prices at a rate of 5 to 10% per year. Run those numbers across 12 services over a decade, and you're looking at thousands of dollars in price increases you never actively agreed to. Companies know this. They designed it this way. They call it revenue expansion from existing customers. In their earnings reports, you call it a bill you don't remember getting bigger. But that's not even the most dangerous part of the autopilot tax. Here's the third calculation. I call it the overdraft domino. This is where autopay doesn't just quietly drain your checking account. It actively punishes you for being broke. Here's a real scenario that happens to millions of Americans every month. Let's say you have $200 in your checking account. You have 6 autopays set up for the week. Your gym membership comes through first, $49. Balance, $151. Your streaming service hits next, $18. Then your car insurance payment pulls, $185. But wait, You only have $133. The bank covers it anyway. They call it overdraft protection. They charge you $35 for this service. Your balance is now negative $87. But we're not done. Your phone bill is on autopay too. $89. The bank covers it again. Another $35 fee. You're now at negative $211. Then your cloud storage, $10 and another $35 fee. Your music app, $12 and another $35 fee. Let's add it up. Your actual bills that week totaled $363. But what did you actually pay? $363 in bills plus $140 in overdraft fees. That's $503 total. You paid $140 in bank fees for the privilege of not having enough money. And here's the part that should make you furious. The CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, found that Americans paid $5.8 billion in overdraft and NSF fees in just the year 2023 alone. The average household that gets hit with overdraft fees pays about $150 a year in these charges. The hardest hit families pay far more. Banks don't see overdraft fees as a problem. They see them as a revenue stream. And autopay is the machine that feeds it. Because when your bills are on autopilot, those payments pull from your account whether you have the money or not. You don't get a warning. You don't get a choice. You just get a fee. Now, some of you are already thinking, this doesn't apply to me. I always have enough in my checking account. Stay with me for 60 seconds, because the autopilot tax doesn't only hit you through overdraft fees. It hits you in ways you've been trained to think of as normal. Here's what this actually means for your life. Think about the last time you checked your bank statement. Not your balance, your actual statement. Every line, every charge. If you're like 70% of Americans, you haven't done a full audit in over 6 months. And during those 6 months, here's what probably happened without you noticing. At least 2 of your subscriptions raised their prices. One of those free trials you signed up for in a moment of boredom is now costing you $9.99 a month. That gym membership you swore you'd start using again in January is still hitting your account every month. Your insurance company quietly adjusted your premium upward by $15. And that annual subscription you forgot about renewed for another full year. The autopilot tax is not one big charge you'd notice. It's 20 small charges you won't. It's the $8.99 here, and the $14.99 there, and the $3 platform fee that got added sometime last spring. Individually, none of them seem worth the effort of canceling, and that is exactly the trap. Companies know that the psychological pain of losing a service, even one you never use, feels bigger than the financial pain of a small monthly charge. Behavioral economists call this loss aversion. You'd rather keep paying for something you don't use than feel the discomfort of losing access to it. And autopay weaponizes this instinct by making sure you never have to actively choose to keep paying. The choice is made for you. Every month. Automatically. The only decision that requires effort is canceling, and they've made sure canceling is as inconvenient as possible. This isn't a personal finance failure. This is a systemic trap. It's not because you're dumb with money. It's because the entire system was designed to extract maximum revenue from your distraction and your exhaustion. But now you know. And now we fix it. Here's exactly what to do, starting this weekend. And I mean this weekend. Not next month. Not when you get around to it. This weekend. Step 1. The 30-minute subscription audit. Pull up your bank statement and your credit card statements for the last 90 days. Every recurring charge gets written down on a piece of paper. Not typed. Written. The physical act of writing it down makes the spending feel real in a way that scrolling on a screen never will. Most people find between $50 and $200 a month in charges they either forgot about, don't use, or didn't know had increased. Step 2. The 4-8 Hour Cancel Test. For every subscription on your list, ask yourself one question. If this disappeared tomorrow, would I actively go resubscribe within 48 hours? If the answer is no, cancel it immediately. Not tomorrow. Right now? Because if you close this video and tell yourself you'll do it later, you won't. That's the entire business model. They're betting you won't. Step 3. The auto-pay firewall. Take every remaining subscription and move it off auto-pay from your checking account. Put them on a single credit card instead. Not because credit cards are better, because credit cards give you a monthly statement where every charge is on one page, making it impossible to miss a price increase. And credit card companies let you dispute charges far more easily than banks do. Set a calendar reminder on the first of every month to spend 5 minutes reviewing that single card statement. Step 4. The price alert. Most people don't know this, but you can set up transaction alerts on your bank account and credit cards that notify you anytime a recurring charge changes by even $1. If your $12.99 subscription quietly becomes $14.99, you'll get a push notification the same day. This one setting turns you from a passive target into an active gatekeeper. Step 5. The annual purge. Put a recurring reminder on your calendar for every January 1st. On that day, cancel every single subscription. All of them. Then over the next week, resubscribe only to the ones you genuinely miss. This forces you to actively choose what's worth your money instead of passively letting old charges live forever. Most people who do this find they only resubscribe to about 40% of what they were paying for. Remember when I said your $4,200 paycheck left you staring at $312 in your account? That wasn't because you made bad choices. It was because you made one seemingly smart choice years ago. The choice to set everything on autopilot, and then dozens of companies spent every month since quietly profiting from that decision. The autopilot tax is real. It's affecting you right now, this month, probably this week. But now you know what they don't want you to know. The most expensive financial decision you can make isn't buying something you don't need. It's paying for something you've already forgotten about. If this video changed how you're going to look at your bank statement this month, subscribe. Because the next video is going to break down a financial trap that's even more invisible than this one, and I guarantee you're caught in it right now.